And so I'm gonna let it go, and it's gonna sink like a rock. Ready?
Whoa, okay.
Ready?
You want me to get in there?
It's gonna sink all the way to the bottom. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, shoot, it's floating.
Oh my God.
Something's wrong. Okay. You wanna do that again? So I'm J.R. D'Souza. I'm the co-founder of Outex, a water housing company. We've been in business for almost 10 years now. Started the company in 2010, and very excited to broaden the number of users in the market and have people like Ben Lowy using our product.
So my name is Ben Lowy. I am a photographer and a filmmaker. Work in a variety of mediums. For the last few years, I've really been concentrating on underwater work. You know, when I do scuba diving and I have these super big housings for going deep, they are a pain to travel with. And so for a lot of instances where I'm not going deep, where I don't know if I'm gonna have the opportunity to swim, a product like Outex is, you know, an amazing and efficient way to keep the ability to do underwater work wherever I go.
Like a doctor operating with gloves, but the glove is on the camera, and you can still operate all of your knobs, your settings, you can turn the lens, you can move everything.
And that's really key, because when you do the bag thing, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're not going scuba diving to, 90 feet, mm-hmm. you don't need, that big housing that takes like a Pelican case and a dome to carry around with you. So this is a great, middle area for being able to shoot, mm-hmm. and keep the ability to control the camera.
I keep coming back to the modularity of it. I think that's the thing we hear the most frequently, is that what people appreciate, because like you, most photographers have multiple lenses that they want to use, and they may not know exactly what lens they're going to use until they're at the shoot. They don't know what camera they may use, depending on, if we're going on a trip and they're going to be shooting a number of things. Or if they're carrying multiple cameras with them, again, they want something that adds virtually no weight to it, so that if they get stuck out in the rain, they're already protected, but they didn't have to run back to the truck or run back to the hotel.
And I think that's a great, also, if there's coverage of a hurricane or a flood and you're working as a photojournalist, this is also a great option for making sure your camera doesn't get destroyed either.
We're one of the few solutions that uses optical glass for all of the ports. So both on the rear and on the front, you've got glass you're shooting through as opposed to acrylic. For hard housings, you've got to spend a lot of money to even be able to find one that has glass. A lot of them are acrylic or plastic. And so professionally speaking, the optic results are really good. The system is fairly simple, and there are basically 3 components to it. There are the covers themselves, and we've gone through a lot of engineering to design the material in a way that optimizes a number of dimensions, if you will. One is durability and ruggedness. So we've got people shooting under ice, and we've got people shooting in the desert. And so we wanted to design something that is not only rugged, but gives you a lot of tactile feedback, so that when you're switching knobs, when you're turning buttons, when you have to push and get that feedback, it's all there. Whether you're doing it in the desert with your bare hands or under ice with gloves, all of that feedback is sort of designed in. And we do have, it's kind of a one size fits many, but we do have a few different sizes. So if you're using a 70 to 200 lens or even longer zoom lenses, we do have a larger housing that also accommodates things like battery grips or larger cameras. So we have people using phase 1 cameras, Hasselblads, etc.
Wow.
The optics are the other component, and as I mentioned, we support all the different standard industry sizes for filter threads, and that creates the seal. It's one of the patents that we have, and we support all the different sizes.
Well, today we jumped in the pool at the Y, which we were lucky enough to get at the 14th Street Y, and had a model. And, just to kind of demonstrate how we would use, a great situation to use the Outex housing in. And I think the versatility of the Outex housing gives me and any photographer the ability to change things up in a situation where most people can't hold their breath for a minute. So you want to get settled, you want to make that image and think about it until the model has to go back up, and you know, rinse and repeat. So having the versatility to change everything rather than handling a bulky you know, hard case definitely adds to sort of the ability to make good images quickly in that sort of environment. You know, one of the things that's really interesting about shooting models underwater is that you aim to sort of make it look like they're not underwater, and that's what makes it so surprising. But you know, holding your breath and having this big, you know, mouthful of water doesn't make it look natural. And most people, not most people, everybody is gonna sink when you blow your air out. So you'll still have air inside your lungs, but you have to blow some out in order to drop you down. And I think that's a really important thing to explain to people, that if you're just holding your breath, you're gonna stay at the surface, and then you waste a lot of time getting into a position. So just exhale, come down, drop, and you know, we create sort of a composition, or you know, almost like a dance where you're choreographed, and you are, as a model, finding the right space to inhabit, and your body language to, you know, in conjunction with the photographer also kind of going down and finding the right space in the right way. And it takes a few times to get it, and you have to say, okay, I want this to happen, and that a whole movement needs to be pre-planned, because it takes a while for people to come down and change and swim into a position, and it really requires, like, you know, I think a lot of photographers wear weight belts because it brings you straight back down, and you can just wait there as the model moves through your environment. You know, most models, when they're above and posing for a photographer, get that Zoolander, you know, kind of look on their face, and you know, when they're underwater, they can't do that. So you get this more, dare I say, authentic look on models' faces, rather than kind of the, you know, kind of pursed lips and seductive eyes, because they're just like underwater.
Yeah, it's different, it's fun, it's kind of magical. It's like learning photography all over again, you know, because it's a different medium.
And what's interesting is sometimes when you light it, or you have backdrops like cloth backdrops, which we didn't do today, but getting that in there and setting up with sandbags and then cross-sliding it, and a lot of times I've shot at night, and you kind of create these magical, wonderful scenes, you know, where the viewer doesn't know what's going on.
So that was a lot of fun, Ben. Thanks for your time and everything you've done for us.
No,
and we look forward to doing it again.
I appreciate it. Yeah, no, me too. And thank you to B&H.